It was one of the largest non-nuclear explosions ever recorded. The city of Beirut in Lebanon, once seen as the Paris of the Middle East, was destroyed. Thousands were injured, lost their homes, and more than 215 people were killed. Thursday marks 2 years since the massive blast, and the consequences from the devastating explosion are still being felt. Lebanon has spiraled into one of the deepest economic and financial crises in the world in 150 years, marked by blackouts, inflation, and an overall sense of despair. Just this week, several heavily damaged grain silos, which had become a dark symbol of the disaster, collapsed, reviving trauma and anger among locals. Despite a lengthy investigation into the cause of the blast, no senior officials have been brought to account. The explosion was the result of hundreds of tons of ammonium nitrate, which was incorrectly stored in a warehouse at the port for almost a decade. Several officials knew about the storage, and yet nothing was done to secure the dangerous products.
We know Lebanon has been a country of impunity for a while, a country where a civil war ended and massacres were committed, but no one investigated them. And a lot of those who committed it were in power. This time, we were able to see how things work. We saw how immunity works. We saw how politicians have been using everything they have, from anger, abuse of power, and street action, and so on, to stop the investigation.
On the anniversary of the disaster, victims' relatives held protest marches across the city, demanding truth and justice.
We don't yet have justice or know the truth about who killed our children. Even if it will be in 10 years, we'll still go on the streets. I raised my son with my tears. I spent nights until I saw him as a grown-up. I wanted to see him as a groom. I didn't want to see him in a coffin because of corrupt authorities.
As the sun sets on Beirut, the images from the port of Lebanon's capital still tell a story of ruin.